everyone and welcome back to my channel. So my name's Katie and today I'm going to be talking about some books with animal companions in them. So I really love animal companions in books. I feel like that will just make a book for me. I don't know, it's just so cute, especially talking animal companions. I feel like I just god tier, or like ones that the main character can kind of communicate with. So on this list I've tried to include like ones which are actual like animal companions rather than just pets. But yeah, I hope you enjoy because it's just one of my favourite kind of elements to any story. So the first one, probably maybe my favourite other than the next one I'm going to talk about, but that is Mephi from the Bone Shard's Daughter and the Bone Shard Emperor. I just got this one out because it was more convenient. Yeah, just Mephi is the cutest bean ever. He's so funny and I just love his like little very good, not good in the first book. So he is kind of the companion to Jovis, who's like this grumpy smuggler, and Mephi sort of acts a bit as his kind of moral compass, which I really love. And then the kind of creature that Mephi is, as the series goes on, because like this is book 2, we meet a few more of the creatures and they also kind of bond to some of the other characters, which I really love. And yeah, so I think I already talked about what book 1 was with Jovis, but then also we're following Lynn at the same time, who's this the Emperor's daughter. And the Emperor basically has this bone shard magic, which is like magic so you can kind of animate bones and things, but the bones are kind of tithed from the population, and anytime someone's bone gets used, that will then cause that person to get really ill and die. So it's really interesting, and I really like the whole kind of story that happens. And then there's a few other characters as well, it all kind of gets tied in. There's these islands which keep drowning, and there's the creatures like Mephi, who there's a lot of mystery surrounding them. I just think it's a really great series, and obviously the animal companion is just the cutest. I'll put in some pictures of Mephi because he's so cute, honestly. So I'd highly recommend this series if you like animal companions. And then next again we have the Realm of the Elderlings, which has some of the most iconic animal companions ever. So obviously Night Eyes, who is Fitz's wolf, who is just the absolute best. He's so great. Oh, just his attitude, like snark, and oh, I just love him so much. So in this series we're following Fitz, who is this discovered to be the bastard of the prince of this royal family called the Farseers. But then the prince abdicates and Fitz never meets him, but Fitz is taken in by the royal family and sort of brought up as this royal bastard, but also secretly in the shadows as an assassin. So that's kind of the story. But Fitz also has this magic called the wit, which means he can kind of talk to animals, but the wit's kind of looked down on, but Fitz uses it anyway. So yeah, so Night Eyes from this one. And then later in the series there's another character called Motley, who I love. She's another kind of animal companion. She's a crow. And she is a crow or a raven, I don't know, but anyway, she is the best. She's so funny and I just love her sort of, again, attitude. I feel like Robin Hobb's so good at writing like animal companion characters. And then also all the dragons in the series, so especially the Rainwild Chronicles, which is one of her like well, it's not a trilogy, it's a quartet, but one of the series in the Realm of the Elderlings. And there's loads of dragons, and the dragons all kind of bond to the humans and like have that kind of relationship, like animal companion-y relationship, which I love so much. Yeah, so we just highly recommend Realm of the Elderlings if you like animal companions, because there's so many good ones. Yeah. And then sort of along the same lines of like bonding to dragons is the Shattered Realms series by Cindy Williams Chimer. So the first one's called Flamecaster, and there's sort of the series is kind of two sort of character kind of sides. I don't know, there's one side which is like children of the characters from the first series, which is called the Seven Realms. Then there's also these new characters who are like mage marked, and they have these like things on the back of their neck, and they're being hunted by this empress. But the mage marked characters have these sort of, I can't really remember if they have like bonds with dragons or if just one of them can like talk to dragons or something, but anyway, it ends up like quite a few of the characters have like bonds with dragons and they can talk to the dragons. The main character Jenna, well, in the first book, because they kind of follow different characters, but Jenna, she has this bond with this dragon. I think the dragon's called Flamecaster actually, and I love their like bond and relationship. It's just so good. And then in book 4 we get a load of baby dragons, which I just love, and their like whole like attitude, and the dragons and like they're so cute, and they like just the kind of way they like talk to the humans and like show them pictures and things. I just think it's so good and so cute, and I just really love that whole like dragon bond, because I feel like fantasy, I like dragons in fantasy, but there's just some dragons which are just so much better than others, and I think Shattered Realms have some of my favourite dragons because I just love them, they're just so cute. Yeah, so I'd highly recommend that series as well if you like animal companions. And then also we have Winterkeep by Kristen Shaw. So this is book 4 of the Graceling series, and as you can probably tell by the cover, there's this little fox called Adventure who kind of teams up a bit with the main character Lavisa, who we follow, and Adventure's just so cute. Like, he's this fox, and I think he's sort of this kind of like species of some sort of telepathic foxes. Like, there's quite a few of them around, but Adventure's like the one that we see, and I think we get his POV as well. And he's just like this, he wants like to forge his own path, and I just love him so much. And yeah, it's kind of hard because this is like the 4th book in the series, so I feel like you couldn't really read this one without having read the rest. Well, you probably could, but I know someone who would. Cough cough me. But yeah, I would recommend reading the rest of the series first, but I feel like this is the only one which really has an animal companion in. Although I'm pretty sure fire can talk to animals. I don't know, anyway. But yeah, I would definitely recommend this one. This one we're kind of following some of the characters from the first series, but then we're also following Lavisa, who's a new character. She has a really interesting story actually, and there's a lot of kind of parental abuse and like gaslighting, and I think it's really like well dealt with, and how that affects like Lavisa as a character, and how she's been brought up, and like how kind of reluctant she is to like show affection or love to anyone. I think it's really interesting. Recommend this one as well. And then we have Wild Lore by Amanda Foody. So this is a middle grade, and this one following, what's the main character called? So Barkley, and he essentially accidentally binds this like monster one day. Yeah, bonds with a beast, but the people who are like bonded to beasts are like really looked down on by society, so he's like chased out of town and he has to escape into these woods, and then he finds this like peoples who are like they're bonded to animals, and he ends up in this competition to, let me see, oh yeah, so it's not a competition, it's an apprenticeship like competition. So they're basically competing to see who can become apprentice to these like powerful figures in the world, and it's just really good. It's like that kind of tournament style thing. Barkley and his bond wolf thing, I can't remember what the bond's called, but they have a really cute bond anyway, and there's some really great friendships, and but I feel like this book just reminded me like a middle grade version of like Fitz, the main character, and the bond, and like the creature. I don't think it's quite a wolf because they're like magically creatures, but very similar to wolf like, and I don't know, I feel like if you like Realm of the Elderlings and you like middle grade, you'll love this. And yeah, it's just really fun. I love the kind of bond, and how like at first Barkley, who's the main character, when he bonds like the animal's quite like sort of doesn't really trust him and like a bit scared, and he's kind of scared of the animal, but like seeing them grow closer, it's like almost How to Train Your Dragon-y, and I just really love that. So yeah, if you like sort of animal companions, I would highly recommend this middle grade. It's a really cute cover as well. Yeah, and then we have Malice by John Gwynne. So it's down here, I can't get it out because they're all wedged in. Well, I could get it out, but then it would just be too much effort. And yeah, I really love this. Well, I love the series, first of all, Faithful and Fun. It's really great, sort of a kind of action-packed, like classic-y fantasy with like good versus evil. There's lots of great characters, but there's a character called Storm who is a wolf, and she is like sort of bonded to the main character Corbin, and I love their relationship. It's so cute. Like, they get, when Storm's a puppy and like Corbin kind of rescues her, and then they just grow up, and like Storm's so fierce and like protective of Corbin, and it's just so cute, and I just really love their bond, and just I feel like that's one of my favourite parts of the series, is like Storm and Corbin. I just love them. Yeah, I feel like there's not a lot more to say about that one. She's not like a talking animal, but you can like really feel their sort of bond and like the communication and stuff, so I felt like I had to put that on here. Yeah. And then we also have, so this one, I'm not entirely sure if you class this exactly as like animal companion, because they're sort of like animal-y human type things. But basically The Bone Ships by R.J. Baker. So this one, I really like the series. First of all, it's really interesting. So following Joron, who's the main character, and he's like this kind of depressed like pirate thing, and he's like in charge of the ship, but the ship's like really run down. But then one day this other character called Lucky Mace shows up and like whips the crew into shape. And they all start like, yeah, and she takes Joron under her wing as her like apprentice. And then it's basically following their adventures like around the sea. It's very piratey and like shippy, and there's various like conspiracies going down in these like coastal towns and like the kind of kingdom. I can't remember precisely the plot without having some thought to it, but then there's also these creatures called the Gulaim, and they are like they're kind of like birds, but like big human-y style birds. I really don't know, but they feel like animal companions, so I'm including them here. And they are just the cutest. Like there's one main one, and here's kind of their I think she's a she actually, bond with Joron. Is just so great, and I just love it, and it's so entertaining, and like they're so kind of, yeah, just all the adjectives, like good adjectives. I feel like the Gulaim really just makes that series for me. They just provide so much kind of heart and like entertainment and just that kind of cozy feeling. I don't know, I just feel like animal companions are just so like, they just add kind of so much to a story. But yeah, I would highly recommend. They're just really fun, like the Gulaim, and they sort of you get so attached to them, and I feel like they're everyone's favourite characters in that series. And yeah, and also finding out more about their kind of culture and things I think is really interesting. So yeah, I would highly recommend that series if you like animal companions. Okay, then we also have, so these last two are sort of honourable mentions. So the first one is Empire of Gold, which is the third book in the David Byrne series. So I feel like it's because it's the third book, I didn't really want to recommend it, although I have actually already recommended a fourth book, but I would recommend reading the whole David Byrne series. But yeah, the animal companion sort of comes into it in the third book, called Mishmish, who is the cutest little animal ever. Oh, I just love him, and they're like bond with Nari, and I just, oh, it's so cute. So yeah, that just really like made book 3 for me. I just loved it. I feel I still have my notes from the Empire of Gold because I did a book talk for it, and I just have like in caps lock, well, handwritten caps lock, Mishmish, and like loads of exclamation marks. Because yeah, they're just the cutest, and it's just like an added bonus to the David Byrne series. I would feel like if you wanted to read it, then you should, for many reasons, but also for Mishmish. And then the final one is not an animal companion, but is a companion, and that is Nightblood from Wartbreaker, which is here. We have Penny's hiding. We'll pop her there. She's not going to stay. Pop her there. Can you see there? No. So the yeah, so Nightblood is a talking sword, so he's kind of an inanimate companion. Maybe I need to do a separate video of like inanimate companions actually, because there is like Clef from Foundry Side as well, who I love, and there's quite a few I can think of. But anyway, so Nightblood is like a companion, but not an animal, but I just feel like I had to mention him because he's the most iconic like talking companion ever. Yeah, I just love him. Maybe if you want to see a video of like talking inanimate object companion things, then let me know. But yeah, Nightblood would highly recommend. If you like animal companions, I feel like you really like Nightblood, even though he's a talking sword, but it's the same kind of vibes, I feel like. So yeah, I would highly recommend that one as well. So I hope you all enjoyed this video. I had a lot of fun filming. I really love sort of animal companions, and I have my own little animal companion, Maisie, but who knows where she is. She's probably outside playing with the birds. Yeah, so that is everything. Let me know in the comments a book that you love which has an animal companion in it, because I'm always looking for more recommendations. I know I've heard the Beast Player does, so I'm planning on reading that very soon. So I'm very excited for that. And if you enjoyed the video, please give it a like and consider subscribing if you haven't already. And I hope you're all having a really great day, and I'll see you next time.